Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. You gotta go? All right, documenting what is the city of Ontario, group stalking outside of the vehicle where the entity is maintaining presence and light activity and stalking where I sleep, while the state is molesting with directed light, and directly on the opposite side of the same street is license 81353D3 using hazards. And on the video that I show you is City of Ontario using hazards 8CKH768. This is documentation what is as an entire entity engaging in an operation of surveillance, and this is the entity stalking where it is that the entity knows that I am sleeping at night, which is in a vehicle outside of that venue where I've documented the state's fake sun, directed light, stalking by helicopter, stalking by commercial airline plane, and group stalking by the people of the state, all of whom are demon possessed. And so I captured this at approximately 8:23 a.m. The state's light source is appearing as though it's cloudy, like it's subdued. I've already shown you the state's fake sun and what the state does with its fake sun, just covering it up. Not only that, what I'm pointing out is while I am inside of the vehicle and I am waking up, I'm still being molested with directed light, and the state immediately engages in fading away that directed light, which is impossible light activity, while then I get out to capture what is the light activity creation by the city of Ontario. And want to be clear, this demon that knows what I'm doing on the phone, knows where I'm sleeping, is engaging in what is conduct that they posted up a sign for days ago, which was supposedly on January 10, 2022, when they were supposedly tree trimming. All right, that's days ago, and the sign has been since removed, and that's why vehicles remain parked on that street. City of Ontario is present, engaging in what is appearing to be that activity which they placed signage for last week. And understand, even that signage and that ongoing license 7 TED 615, that ongoing signage and all that was nothing but P.O.C. anyway. Everything that the entity is doing is the pattern of conduct. I'm showing you all the ways in which that's underway. But he is engaging in what is, and he represents the municipality, engaging in the outward appearance of an activity of that which they placed signage for, which was occurring on January 10, 2022, for which they said there was no parking, and they removed that signage. And it is Thursday, January 13th, 2022, and that's what that minion appears to be engaging in. I just want to document that as well. And this is light activity, and the license plate that I read to you right now, they are in perfect alignment with me where I am in the vehicle at 630 North Front. So as I'm reading the license plate to you about the truck with hazards, they're in alignment with City of Ontario, which is on Fern Avenue right behind the vehicle that I'm at, both of them using their lights, and in alignment to that vehicle using their hazards right in front of that vehicle, which is south of the vehicle whose license plate I recited, you have another vehicle using hazards. They're surrounding the perimeter with light activity, okay? I just want to speak to what is the demonic conduct, and it's also what is surveillance while that entity is stalking over somebody that they are surveilling while I'm sleeping in a vehicle. All right, it's not different. You're talking about what is directed light present, stalking by planes and helicopters, 8JBS 204. The entity engaging in sounding helicopter activity, stalking, in other words, with helicopter overnight, 630 North Fern, where I'm at, doing that on multiple occasions while I'm inside of the same vehicle where City of Ontario's group stalking, as I captured on video. And you have what is my inclusion of that into this documentation, because that's the ongoing contact. I've already shown what's the P.O.C. and that's City of Ontario engaging in the P.O.C. And that's also a psychopath that knows that I'm pulling out a video, and the absence of any form. They don't have form anymore, but his attempt to engage in, he's engaging in some job. That's why he is stalking in the path and creating light activity while he knows I'm about to document him. And while, again, I attempt to contact on the telephone, this is relevant, the third party whose vehicle I'm inside of, and you're talking about what is not answering that phone while she's already stalking in the path, okay? All right, engaging in monitoring with that light activity created by the City of Ontario. Seconds later, appearing at the vehicle while that light activity, that ongoing P.O.C. is underway. 21694J1, patrolling. 7NOD869. And it's currently 8:29 a.m. So all of that mouthful speaking to what I documented while I'm observing what is, again, this apparent inability to answer the phone after having a prior conversation about being present at where I'm at right now, which is Stater Brothers, the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza, at a specific time. And so you're talking about not answering the phone and then seconds later appearing at the vehicle, where City of Ontario is already present, engaging in the facilitation. So you're talking about these demons are just engaging in monitoring while I'm sleeping. That's literally what these demons are doing, hovering over me while I'm sleeping. And I get out and document video of it. All right, it's 8:29 a.m. That's the same thing they're doing in the bathroom. That's the same thing I'm going to document and prosecute the overweight minion of Fontana Lewis Library for. All right, she's a sex offender, and then engaging in what is harassment while I'm documenting harassment by an entity that's engaged in surveillance. All right, no small thing whatsoever. It is currently 8:29 a.m. This is P.O.C. at Ontario Village, where those minions are patrolling all around. You have one sitting in the middle of the parking lot. I'll get that. That vehicle is not even parked in a parking space like there's some renegade. It is 8:30 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, license plate 5PLG810. License plate 8TGC703. And so let me point out something else to you. While this minion, Tracy Banks, license 4WON432, is not answering her phone, she's monitoring with the phone. 7LJD097. This minion did not forget her phone. She's not ignorant that I'm calling her. She's stalking outside of the vehicle, monitoring me with the City of Ontario. 12942M1, being the stalker that I've already documented and revealed that she has a history of. This is the psychopath, the same psychopath you witnessed last night. All right, they're engaging in P.O.C. They're monitoring. What they're doing and their condition is, revealed by me. And you're talking about nothing other than demons who are, they're psychopaths, but I'm speaking to what is a psychopath conduct. You're hostile because I'm documenting your criminal activity, your unprecedented criminal conduct. All right, 7PUN780. So this minion did not forget her cell phone. She is on the street already, creeping around the vehicle, all right, inconspicuously while I'm sleeping. All right, and I just wake up about 8:19 a.m. and that's a matter of my call records. I call her twice. And second of all, she's also not ignorant of the phone ringing. You're talking about knowing exactly what's going on with her phone. And also you have what is knowledge while she's already outside of the vehicle stalking. And then the City of Ontario is present, which is why I captured video. 8MQM656. And that's what she was doing. And she has her phone right now while she's dropping me off, acting like she didn't know that I was calling, acting like she was ignorant about that I was using my phone to call her, as she then arrives seconds later while the City of Ontario and her are stalking and monitoring together. An entire operation. That's why they're surrounding by streets around the perimeter with light activity. 5UYD769, Coca-Cola crossing path. Swift Night Transportation Holdings, LLC crossing path, while the state flies over my head by commercial airline plane like you just heard right now. 8NVU561, 7AUX135, 10746W1. So let me remind you about a few things. Tracy Banks is loitering in the parking lot also, stalking with Swift Transportation, stalking with these license plates who I'm reciting, stalking with Stater Brothers, stalking with the state who's flying over my head by commercial airline plane. What's going on? What's going on?
I'm watching you.
Why?
Because you're going around filming people's cars.
What am I filming?
Their cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
so I'm filming you right now?
yeah.
Oh, I am. Got it. Okay. Anything else? What does that concern you with? I'm over 18. Is there anything else you want to do? Okay. So you're watching me as being a mom, and you're sitting in the parking lot because I'm filming people even though my camera is facing the asphalt and I'm holding my phone? Is that all? Okay. Bye. That's P.O.C. she's being a stalker and she's unintelligent in the ways in which she's trying to address what is trying to make me a problem while I'm documenting demonic activity. I'll hold my phone up to her face and document it. Let me be clear, but you're talking about what is not even, my camera's not even being held upright. 5G CK95 My camera is facing the asphalt as I'm recording on my podcast. She is stalking in relevant position while the state flies over me in a commercial plane, while these commercial actors are stalking with her in the path. All right. And like I said, that demon has her phone on her right now while she was creeping in the streets while I'm sleeping in the car, not answering as I abruptly call her. And then she arrives at the car already. All right. After she doesn't answer her phone, 8NWB390, while she's monitoring with, again, demons whose name I don't know and I don't have to know them. NJA7COA. That's Arizona. You're talking about what is identifying the state. And you're listening to the unnatural and abnormal conduct of Tracy Banks. Why are you sitting around in the parking lot when you supposedly dropped me off? I'm not no little kid, first of all. Second of all, I'm a grown woman. Third of all, this is the same minion who in a second has told me, as I've documented on this podcast, showing what is her true attitude, which is you can get out, like she's doing me some kind of favor, which I don't care. I still document. And I even document more thoroughly when I'm sleeping outside at the museum, by the way, because I'm still sleeping outside. I'm in a car. But when I'm at the museum, not only am I still documenting her, I'm documenting all the rest of them. So you're not stopping it. And then all it does is reveal to you what is this psychopath that I'm dealing with, going by the name of Tracy Banks. Revealing what is the condition of the people of the state. They're demons. I just know this demon's name, and I know how that demon in particular operates, and I know how the rest of them operate. You're talking about a spiritual condition, which is the operation of a psychopath over a human being, all right, who is living as a con, okay? MHR82, 7LCK299. So she's sitting in the back of the parking lot while I'm reading license plates, and then I approach her, what's going on? Even though I already know, but I want to document that she is stalking in the path. She does not have any form. Understand that. And what is her? You hear her her conduct. First of all, she's sitting around creeping in the parking lot. And why aren't you just driving off? You're not concerned about my well-being. She's in a second for things that don't even make unfounded hostility. In other words, okay, just getting mad because you're monitoring. Period. You're a hostile demon, and you're waiting for an excuse to show what is actually your disdain. Period. This is what I'm dealing with. I don't care though. Like I said, you are not slowing it down. You are speaking to what is inspiring legislation that has already been created. All I'm doing is making it, all I'm doing is creating it and making it known in the natural. This is already done. Dealing with demons whose condition you cannot see in the natural, dealing with them in a matter which has already been decreed, which you cannot see in the natural. I'm making it so that you witness it in the natural. 8EOJ972. In other words, this is judgment that Satan itself is being faced with, dealing with all of the minions, including those whose name I know, including Tracy Banks, 81363L2. And so she's sitting in the back of the parking lot, and so I walk toward her while she knows exactly what I'm doing. But again, I just asked her a question, what's going on, 7KKR535? Is there something that you want to give me while you're sitting in the back of the parking lot? Really? No, you're filming. What are you? You're filming people. No, I'm holding my phone, and my holding my phone is not her concern. Okay? The same demons you saw in video, the same ones engaged in heavy-duty surveillance, 1560780, coming to create noise using a dumpster, stalking me. They have nothing else important to do. 4GOY971, that's City of Ontario. And that makes Ontario Village a facilitating venue. Understand that. 8TLR300, 8EEY240. You engage in surveillance with the state. You want to go make a purchase at some venue where you're stalking with the state, that third party and that venue. You want to engage in stalking by using your business. You're delivering a package. Oh yeah, you're delivering mail while you're in the path stalking on behalf of the state. You and that venue are documented engaging in P.O.C. Whatever it is that you want to claim that you're doing, this is how the government monitors you together. 5DNU739, 8EBM268. And this is why you have the City of Ontario stalking me, where they know exactly where I'm sleeping. They were doing the same thing at American Inn. They were doing the same thing at Economy Inn. All right, you're talking about what is an ongoing history of stalking, doing the same thing at what is Mayfair Inn. You have the entity engaging in an ongoing pattern of stalking where I'm at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. Obsessive concern, demons of the municipality engaging in state surveillance, violent sex offenders. Okay, also engaging in what is a pattern of criminal summoning. All right, so you're talking about what is already documenting those who are going to federal prison. 6UGN075, while they're engaging in that conduct, which I'm documenting. 7R7361, 7973611. And not only that, let me be clear, every single last one of those minions, but I'm not speaking of minions, those venues that I just cited to you, not only have I documented them, I've shown you the totality of the pattern of conduct, literally the state maintaining a fake sun over every single last one of those venues that I just recited to you right now. All right? That is why you are talking about an absolute psychopath that is surrounded with evidence. And that's why I stay around and I document minions like Sarah Bartlett. All right? And the minions of the Fontana Lewis Library. Oh, you want it? I'm going to prosecute you. All right? You're talking about the same thing with the Open Public Library, the same thing with the Open Family Community Library. All right? I documented at every single last one of those venues. All right, and contrary to what the state is doing now, because it's aware that I'm surrounding it with even more documentation, which already remain present and relevant, the state's fake sun and what it's been doing for a term of years, 6FG and 360. And as I've been reminding you, for example, today is January 13th, 2022, 6BXU, 670. Take a look and remind yourself while I'm publishing about 2022. Look at what the state was doing with its fake sun on January 1st, 2021, on January 2nd, 2021, on January 3rd, 2021, etc. And the state is engaging in covering up nothing but a fake sun. It doesn't change that ongoing history documentation. It doesn't change it. You're understanding what is a psychopath. 5 AAE 499. And what remains is that ongoing stalking with light conduct. That's what City of Ontario is doing. While you are also engaging in what is a pattern, directed light remains, the fake sun remains, and not only that, what you engaged in last week is still relevant to what is occurring on yesterday, January 12, 2022. It's the same time of year. 7R56223, 7NOD869, 6GIE694, 8PNW326, 5TWS962, AV08W21, paper plate. All these minions are monitoring in relevant positions, stalking with light in the parking lot, and City of Ontario creating that audible activity. 6GIF694. All right, so you have what is, again, in no way avoiding, I just showed you what is the state's fake sun directly over the venue of 630 North Fern Avenue hovering. All right, you're talking about what was at or around 8:30 in the morning at 630 North Fern. And also, what is also going to follow that, which is a matter of common sense. An ongoing pattern is not going to suddenly stop. I have an ongoing documentation, consistent documentation spanning a term of years. And I have also shown you the pattern of what is revealed by stalking with the fake sun. That is tampering with the environment, obstruction of justice, in other words, revealing what is surveillance by government. And understand, how do you stalk with the fake sun? You're witnessing demonic activity. That's how. That's how you maintain ubiquitous presence with a fake sun, because it is fake. The actual sun is not maintaining ubiquitous presence like that over everyone's head, let alone one person's head, 8WSS930. So it is making manifest to you that which perhaps you never thought that you were witnessing, but it's demonic activity in your face. That's what it is. 8CNK080, because the government is not keeping and pulling around with strings some gravitating force over it. No, you're witnessing demonic activity. All right, you're witnessing the operation of Satan, and I'm making it present, making it clear before your face. That's how you have a fake sun moving all around. All right, and you're also understanding what is the state system of surveillance while that demonic activity. This is the government engaging in that satanic system. They are literally puppets of the devil, and this is an entirely demonic environment and engaging in demonic activity. That's how you have that. And so while I'm revealing it, demonic activity, you're looking at it on video, demonic activity. That's what you're listening to. The City of Ontario is engaging in. Again, license 1560780, a demon stalking with light. All right, you've seen those demons in action also. Let me recall Economy Inn, where they were not even emptying the trash. All right, they are stalking in the path with this demon 7MHG978 who's pacing in the parking lot right now. But at Economy Inn, they were not even emptying the trash, while the state is amplifying audible activity inside of the hotel room of Economy Inn. And as I open the door, because it was amplification, they are not even touching the dumpster truck, 7TRY952. I've given you this example many times because they are doing nothing but stalking, and that's already established. But I'm able to draw upon example after example after example, because that's how thoroughly I've documented the entity. 7R73611. And you have what is not even touching the dumpsters while the state is amplifying the sound of crashing dumpsters. They are at a distance from the dumpsters. As I open the door and I capture them stalking on video, then you have them pulling forward to the dumpster and then actually emptying the dumpster, okay, which is audible activity while they know that they're being documented, none of which you're actually going to hear into that hotel room anyway. But you're also looking at what's occurring, that directed light that's inside of the depths of that hotel room, while the state is using the City of Ontario demons in a municipality vehicle, engaging in criminal surveillance with the people of the state who are stalking all together. 6BXU670, in that same municipality, stalking, hovering over me, a female a single female sleeping in a vehicle. All right, does not matter what my economic status is. These are demons, and that's why they are stalking in the path and creating light activity while I'm outside of 630 North Fern Avenue. Where I've already shown you in 2022, the state hovering with a fake sun you're talking about around 8:30 a.m. You're talking about what is the same time of year over me at the B&G Plaza at 7:50, 7:51 a.m. It's still the same time of year. And why is this relevant? Because you're stalking with a fake sun, and so you're actually not. It's not based on time of year. It's based on where I am, what I'm doing. All right, but I'm holding it to that standard because you're going to understand is. The entity is engaging in, this is entirely demonic. These are the demon possessed, and this is a government system. And stalking with light is central to that. So the state tries to now backpedal, but not really, covering it up. And then while I'm inside of a venue, for example, then it starts shining more clearly. But like I showed you yesterday, the state's fake sun is present. It's over me in the city of Fontana, in conflict with remaining not only last year over my head in the city of Ontario, where I did not go anywhere near the city of Fontana, which is time of year analysis, in conflict with staying in the city of Ontario. Staying in the city of Ontario, staying at the address wherever it is I'm at, maintaining that central presence, though that's what you do see. And this is all the ways in which you're looking at time of day, time of year, and what the state is doing pursuant to an ongoing consistent pattern. That doesn't change because you want to try to cover it up for a couple hours in the morning. That's not the sun at any time of day. And it's certainly not as what you're shown in an ongoing span of documentation. And there is no avoiding that. You're dealing with a psychopath. And supplementing that is demons such as the city of Ontario who are creating flashing light around the vehicle. Do you understand the level of psychopath stalking that is revealed by that? Because that's exactly what they're doing. Stalking with light, surrounding the vehicle, all manner of like some sort of demonic artillery that they are honing in, focused on me while I'm passed out. Okay, I'm not even conscious. That's how scared these demons are. That's how focused they are on me, because that was the exact same elements. And I just get up to capture it on video while the demon by Tracy Banks is already outside stalking in relevant position with the rest of these demons. All right, she's a demon-possessed actor, equally threatening. You're talking about the engagement in that threat for purposes of prosecuting it and showing how that there is no form and there's no exception. And also speaking to the malice of the people of the state. This malice is what you witnessed last night, the malice of psychopaths who are engaging in sexual violence, who are engaging in surveillance, who are engaging in criminal conduct. It's called interstate stalking, monitoring with communication devices on behalf of the government. 03179G2. And then you're hostile because, first of all, while you're showing that you're an unbalanced danger and a psychopath and a sex offender through the P.O.C., and everything that they're saying is while they are engaging in monitoring. AVHK477. It is being said, by the way, and done for the purpose of communicating a threat while they're hostile with knowledge of exactly what I'm doing on my phone. Everything that they're saying is the ceaseless P.O.C. 8AWN340. 8ARE448. So I just want to be clear on that. And that's why I'm able to go to what is, I believe that was Montclair, and I have two shadows in front of me in the dark. That pattern of conduct underway, the demons of the Omnitrans being molested with what is directed light. All right, that's appearing in the back of, you see where I'm sitting by the entrance in the middle of the bus? There's no light that's coming through the windows and touching all over my thighs and moving it through the middle of the bus, not even at the front portion. It's wherever it is that I am. 6BXU670 is engaging in stalking while this minion is pushing around a lawnmower on the asphalt, surrounding with noise. 7E42267, I can only see that one though. 6M25231, that's what you're hearing. Pushing around a lawnmower on the asphalt to maintain noise. That's a demon. Okay? 7LOK377, 8CVJ945. And it is currently 8:48 a.m. And this is just to remind you, it's not even necessary with regard, you're talking about the same time of year. We're talking about through November up until the present. I have a whole bunch of documentation to draw back from as far as surrounding the entity with documentation of what is nothing other than engaging in surveillance while the entity is stalking with that which is a fake sun, which is documentation of a sex offender and a terrorist, and doing it in an unprecedented manner with those who also need to be shipped out of this country if they're not even natural-born citizens, engaging in monitoring other American citizens. 4RNF331, 6FGN360. And so, like I said, you're talking about the state engaging in reviewing and still obviously not understanding the totality of the picture. All right, because there's more than one way that I've already you're being prosecuted as you're witnessing it. So this is what I mean by, oh, you want to cover up your fake son for a couple of hours in the morning? You can cover up your fake son, like I said, for a week. You might as well change your fake son to the color of neon green, like I said, because there's no getting out of that documentation. I'm showing you what is an ongoing exposition and a surrounding with direct evidence of what is surveillance by a government. And that pattern of conduct, by definition, is that which you cannot in any way circumvent. It's already been established what the government is doing. It's already been shown. Everything that the government is doing. So every aspect of it, 6RFD 201, and central to that, which is stalking with light, which is revealing that demonic targeting system, 6RFD 201. So you have what is the inevitability also of what is revealing, and as I've already published it, but you're talking about the bigger picture, day by day, showing and also reminding you about what I already published last year, the year before last year, 8EHW 244, and the state engaging in nothing other than trying to conceal it, can't conceal it. Can't conceal it, I already showed you. And so what are you talking about now? First of all, that wasn't the sun in 2020. That wasn't the sun in 2021. That wasn't the sun over me yesterday. All right. There is no getting out of that. But that's what you are witnessing while the state's, albeit fake sun, remains over my head, 7MNZ257, regardless of how it tries to fade it in or fade it out. That's not the sun. All right, so you're talking about maintaining that object over me while trying to engage in and failing to obstruct justice. Understand, I'm mindful of that 21046H3, and that is the purpose and that's the value of documentation. Because you cannot undo the record, you can't undo history. The entity engages in what is hostility. I'm surrounded by furious demons who are very, very angry about that. And that's what Sarah Bartlett was engaged in. She wasn't doing nothing about her job, just like the security guard was not doing anything about her job. Nothing. All right, so you're talking about what is monitoring me, and actually a psychopath that is furious about the fact that I'm prosecuting them. They're sitting in relevant positions, stalking all day long, while they're witnessing while I'm at their venue, showing you what is a fake sun, what's directed light, showing you the goofy demons that they are, and showing you what is the ongoing demonic activity that they engage in, the sexual violence that they engage in while they're surveilling with the state, and you're talking about what is then showing your fury, because you're literally revealing that while you are monitoring the documentation and then providing that documentation with which I'm going to choke the life out of you with. That's period. I'm going to desecrate you with that evidence. All right, because you're a psychopath and you're monitoring with the state. It's no small thing. Everything that comes out of the state's mouth, the state's going to pay for it. All right, and I don't mean just monetarily. It is larger than money with regard to the government surveilling you. It is 8:51 a.m. and this is P.O.C. It is, again, Thursday, January 13th, 2022. This Minion Crossing Path, license plate 8UBZ603. And the state's fake sun is, the state is molesting me with direct light. That's what I want to point out. The state is molesting me with direct light while I'm inside of the vehicle that has tinted windows, while the state is acting like the fake sun is not present, which I've already shown what the state is doing with its fake sun. That's why if I stay at 630 North Fern past 10 o'clock in the morning, it stays there. But if we leave before 10 o'clock in the morning, it's over my head and it's moving in real time, which I've captured on video. And before what is 2022, you have what is the state's light source, which is remaining present. The state is subduing it, and that's why it was present over my head as we went to Ontario Village Shopping Center yesterday morning. That same demon whose license plate I recited is just pacing back and forth. All right, I recited that license. I'm sorry, Amber H, who was engaging in sexual violence, and the state's fake sun is over the Ontario Village. All right, we arrive here at or around what is a little bit after 8:22 a.m. That's when I captured that video, 8:19, 8:22 a.m. The state's fake sun is directly over the vehicle, while City of Ontario is in a truck stalking a young woman. That's what he's doing, and doing so on behalf of the municipality, having no form, being a sex offender, and then that demon hopping up on top of the truck as though he's consumed. It doesn't matter. He could have been standing on the truck the whole time. He wasn't. He could have been standing on the truck the whole time. Let me be clear. You are creating light activity in the path, and a demon that's listening to me breathe knows that I'm waking up, knows that I was in use of my phone, knows that I was going to my camera function in order to document this. These are demons that have this knowledge. All right. It doesn't matter what he was doing, but the purpose of this system is for them to appear as though they are focused on something else, while the ongoing environment, which is how you're understanding the malice of the system, the ongoing elements are underway, which control when the government is surveilling you and doing so with communication devices. And that's the conduct of the psychopath. That's the conduct of the sex offender as well, who is then also mad because you're documenting their criminal conduct. All right. So that is all levels of what that psychopath representing the municipality engaged in, doing so under the fake sun that remained over 630 North Fern. Understand that everything that the state is doing under a fake sun and then trying to conceal it. There's no going back and forth with the documentation. It was over the Ontario Village at 8:22 in the morning, as I captured on video, as I've captured well before yesterday as well, both before that time and after that time remaining, and while mutually exclusive to what is maintaining that central presence, while I'm also in motion to a different location while it's stationary at this venue. This is what the state engaged in. This is the ongoing contrast that I show you, including staying at 630 North Fern, where the state's fake sun was present. The state is doing nothing but covering it up, okay? So you're talking about what is impossible light activity that remains present, and the state is, while covering up its fake sun, I'm still being molested with directed light. The directed light conduct is separate from what is the fake sun over my head conduct. 8EF4607, or 8F46097, excuse me. So you have what is the state molesting me with directed light. As I open my eyes, I use my phone to call Tracy Banks, who was already stalking outside of the vehicle with the Ontario City of Ontario, not answering her phone as I call her twice in a row, and then arriving at the vehicle seconds later, stating, "Oh, I didn't hear it. It doesn't matter what she's saying. She's monitoring." And let me be clear: that demon did not forget her cell phone. All right, you're monitoring, and she is on duty. There is no moment without a cell phone in relevant position, and you're talking about what is the basis of that criminal system, 8VQV328. And so I just want to make sure I point that out also. And then you have her stalking in the parking lot, 8UIF991, with the minions of commercial, with the minions that are driving commercial vehicles, crossing path, and the minions that are flying over my head, all right, in commercial airline planes. And then while she's talking about, oh, you're recording people, and understand as that is, not only is it baseless, you're talking about what is still no reason why are you sitting in the back of a parking lot. You're not concerned about that. And what I'm doing with my phone is not her concern either. I'm way over 18, and she doesn't have a genuine concern for my safety anyway. You would not let somebody go sleeping on the streets, especially as they've been, which she knows, but understand she's engaged in that P.O.C., subject to what is ongoing targeting by law enforcement, kidnapping by law enforcement. Not only do I know the law, she knows that I know the law. She also did not engage in any sort of trying to help whatsoever. Didn't call a lawyer. Okay, did not engage in anything that was remotely related to rectifying what was a situation that she didn't have anything to do with. That's not what the case was, and that's not what her conduct revealed. And not that I needed to, I'm talking about what is the state system. I'm just reminding you about what I've already published. Her conduct is what is establishing not just my narrative. It's not a narrative. It is what it is. I don't care about that demon named Tracy Banks versus some other demon going by the license plate of, I can't see the license plate right now, but you have what the third parties that are engaging in a P.O.C. indiscriminate on behalf of the government, period. All right. And her conduct is demonstrating her to be the adversary that she is, monitoring, engaging in kidnapping, engaging in criminal summoning, engaging in fictitious prosecution, 42289X2. That's just an example of understanding what you are based on what you're doing. She's stalking in the back of a parking lot while a fake sun is over my head. I'm always in her vehicle, understand, present inside of where it is that she lives, Woodside Senior Apartments, whatever venue that I'm at, and the state is flying over my head in helicopter. The state is molesting with directed light. My shadow surrounds me while she's in relevant position, acting like she's oblivious to it. All right, and she's engaging in what is stating to me while she is creeping in the back of the parking lot. Well, she knows everything that I'm pointing out today. She's listening and she's monitoring, and she's stating, "Oh, well, you're recording people." And I want to be clear. She's unpersuasively, because while my camera is facing the asphalt, let me be clear, this is nothing but a demon that is, again, just trying to point out some issue with me while I'm documenting, and she knows exactly what I encountered at the Fontana Lewis Library last night. All right? She knows exactly what I documented at the Fontana Lewis Library, where demons were sitting around making accusations which are unfounded. All right? But like I said, I'm not going to mince words with demons. I'm going to document you and I'm going to prosecute you. And which way you want that prosecution, because at that point, you're not avoiding it. You're picking and choosing how far down you're going to go. All right. And it's already very, very far. This is government conduct. 8UIF991, you're already talking about what is federal prison. You're already talking about what is prescription with regard to what is a mental issues, deeply disturbing mental issues, okay? These are psychopaths, and this is demon possession and how that operates over human beings who are engaging in what is criminal conduct, unprecedented criminal conduct, and doing so maliciously, all right? Engaging in what is hostility while they are now approached with what is no longer going to be revealed, no longer going to be concealed. 8UZC 252. Monitoring with Union Pacific, understand that. They're patrolling in a parking lot, loitering in relevant position while I'm standing out at the Ontario Village Shopping Center is a means of audible activity. Anyway, it's currently 8:59 a.m. and I just want to remind you of all of that. The state's fake sun is over the venue, which is the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And I am documenting today on Thursday, January 13, 2022. And this is P.O.C. Let me get this license plate. 4N32902. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, I did capture another video. Group stalking inside of what is the Demeanor Barbershop in relevant position. This is suite number 628B. This is African-American male stalking in the path. He's in relevant position while I'm outside capturing that video while those demons are pacing in vehicles in relevant position, and the state's light source is right over my head. All right, understand you were talking about what is positioning and presence by the state everywhere. It doesn't matter where you work or wherever it is that you live. You're talking about the pattern of conduct. And where the state is maintaining a fake sun over you, you're understanding the criminal conduct of the state. While they use emergency vehicles, they use those positions that they have and as government actors, as state actors, to engage in surveillance and criminal obstruction of justice. All right, and that's what I just captured right now when you're listening to what are sirens. All right, that's what that is. That's audible activity. And that minion's license plate I just recited, I believe, that's going in and out of the Demeanor Barbershop. It is currently 9:02 a.m. and I did capture video of what is the state's fake sun at 9 a.m. in alignment with me while I'm at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, and also reminded you of what is already documented, the state's fake sun at the same time of year, and the state is doing nothing but covering it up. That's it. This is P.O.C. That is, let's get this. Alrighty, it is 9:03 a.m. showing you what is UPS that is hovering over the Ontario Village Shopping Center and not taking off from this location and also not landing in this location. So understand what that is. That's called relevant positioning, and doing so under what is the state's fake sun while you're looking at what are minions that are crossing paths. I'm at Ontario Village and I just captured that video as well. I wanted to show you that while they're hovering at such a low elevation as though they're about to land at the Starbucks at 706 West Hall, and that's not the case, okay? That's called stalking in the path, which is the ongoing pattern that exists in my documentation where you're seeing the state's light source. It's 9:04 a.m. and this is P.O.C. That's amplified audible activity, which you are not going to be able to hear. This is Union Pacific engaging in that pattern of conduct. That's P.O.C. Alrighty, this minion stalking in the path with the state that's hovering over me in aircraft and the fake sun over my head, license plate 6EDE282, pulling up at the DD's discounts where I'm standing, while the state is amplifying that plane activity. And the state's fake sun is over the Ontario Village. 7EPZ229, 6CTL728, 6HTM192, BU75A38, that's paper, 8BGR117, 8CCT584, 1915OG3, 7TPT236, 8CIF407, 8XOV335, 8VYG139, 8WSP835. All right, and that right now, what you hear as you hear me begin this portion of the episode, that's a concerted, that's ambush type conduct, that's the terrorism by the entity. That demon pulls up right next to me, which is crossing path. The vehicle is a means of light, was simultaneous to what I'm doing, while the state's fake sun is over the village, and the state is just covering it up and revealing it, covering up and revealing, meaning this is light activity, shining and undimming and shining and dimming under what is a fake sun under any circumstances. It's over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And it's 10:03 a.m. And then you have what you hear is the state hovering right over me is by aircraft, okay? And that's P.O.C. So I want to make sure what you're listening to is that pattern of conduct. And as I start documenting as well, 74040F1, they act with simultaneity. 4758OT2. 6YUP239, 7TAN046, 6SHP914, 8WSP835, 6VHA060. I think I read that one already. 8WEK313. Okay, in case I did not read this one. 6YGA552, 7FIV597, 8SMP393, 7KVX811, 6UOE668, 6RPR604. 8RNX 991 dragging a cart. That's audible activity while he's crossing paths. 7ROZ 656, 6MRY 178, 7LZS 546, 7YEN 328, 91496C3, CMK 365. That's Indiana. 8EXW 233, 8BAB 736, 7YRW 154, 7ZRJ 079, 6BEX 098, 7YRK 727, 7HEM 905. And this demon, license 81115F3. It is currently 10:05 a.m. and they're patrolling around inside of the parking lot. The Panda Walk, the Diamond Nails Pure Water, Hair Beauty Works Supply, AB Threading, Erica's Insurance, Metro, T-Mobile, and the Subway. This is where they're patrolling. 8NNF 160. All right, and while the state flies over right where I'm standing in the parking lot. All right, just where the UPS plane you saw hovering, right where I'm standing in the parking lot. The portion of whatever area I'm at where the state is also aiming its directed light, that's where the state is flying. All right, and also understand the deviation from hovering with these commercial planes. It's not the Stater Brothers parking lot is not in alignment with being in other words, they're not continuing a flight and hovering continuously from the B&G Plaza. As you see them hovering as though they're taking off over the B&G Plaza, you are continuously maintaining this low elevation in order to cross path at low elevation where I am west of that location of the B&G Plaza or the 280 North Limit Apartments, which are also not in perfect alignment either. The state is maintaining that presence and flying, deviating in whatever direction to fly over me. All right, HDEBERG. And that's what you're listening to. License 8XYB846, 11173D3. And so you're witnessing what is state surveillance. And it's absolutely demonic. 8POV013, 8DLB403. And these are the demon-possessed that are flying airplanes, flying around in helicopter, and surveilling one who is documenting it. It's criminal conduct by a government that's monitoring in the United States. That's criminal. 8RNX991, surveilling you without you knowing it, and doing it with the people of the state who are also engaging in violating your constitutional and human rights. License plate 1493744. That's the same municipality, the stalker maintaining presence where it is that I sleep. All right, license 8NZD348, in case I didn't remember that, 5TDU249. BM98B18, paper. License 7ZRJ079. Leaving out of the B&G Plaza. It's 10:07 a.m. 5EEW104, 6GUC532, 6NJG960. (7RHY672), 4KMC581, 5PGP757, B. Can't see that one. This is a Washington plate. This is license plate BOHO154. That's Washington. 5UMK829. (8FTY657) JLPENZ 8TPD082 88292D3 8SDC393 7ENY531 55885Z1. So I got rid of the one. 8TCC938, yeah. 8XTV301 V270YO 8LDA609 5GGA947. Already rid of them. 6LGL146. And this is P.O.C. at the Ontario Plaza Apartments. They're in relevant position inside of their facilitated venues where those demons dwell. They're crossing path while the state is creating audible activity and stalking as an entity. 8C67731. That's what that plane activity is letting you know about. 8Z82086. 7AJN723, 8CWC990, 8XPY103. 6DRS 078, 7BFU 023, 8PHU, that's 8PHU 332, 30840E2, 23116T1. Yeah, I think everything. 8HLW324, 8XDR664, 8AHF678, 7K67749. These are minions associated with Vesta Street, where I'm walking right now. 7D87492, 7WEM064, 6UYA131, 64380M1. 8PHU332 is an operation of a communication device stalking in the path at what is the facilitating venue of 535 Vesta, inside of what is a little alleyway, and another demon is at Hope Boulevard in the same alley creating light. They're minions monitoring together. And what you hear is a minion in operation of a communication device. All right, and that minion is stalking in the path with the other minion that's at the opposite end of the alley. That's what City of Ontario was doing around the perimeter of 60 Zone North Friend this morning, stalking with light, 21399C2. It's demonic, okay? It's achieving monitoring with communication devices, but these are not normal people. These are demons that do that, and they're doing it with the government. 6UYA131, 64380M1, 6XFD156, 7TLY248. So I took a picture of her. You're looking at she's just stalking in the path. She's just maintaining presence. She's positioning. She's sitting in her vehicle doing so with her foot on the brake in what is an open space, the driveway. And at the opposite end of that driveway is what is Hope Boulevard. And you have another demon that's at that driveway using their brakes and their turn signal. They're positioning, maintaining presence, maintaining a chain of light right there as I cross path. Understand what they're doing. I did capture an image of that demon stalking in the path. That is a terrorism by the people. 8RBB429. Engaging in the pattern of conduct, which is demonic. 6NJT888, 7XCN034, 5EGG884, 4DIY156, it's 10:12 a.m. License plate 6BEF316, 4UVH826, 7DVY950, 8TGJ282. They're stalking at this other corner. I'm going to get them these license plates right here. 8Y52285, 5BTR555. Stalking at the corner north of Holt Boulevard. I'm on Vine, 3XRF775. So this demon is maintaining presence at the corner. 4JIE734 is sitting at the corner with their hazards on. All right, that's a demon that's stalking in the path, creating light while I'm walking down the street, and it's facilitating conduct. Okay, this is the ongoing maintenance of presence in the path. That is, again, license plate 4JIE734, and the state's fake sign is right above the vehicle as well. This is an old gray-haired Latina female stalking in the path, and doing so at a facilitating venue, knowledge of who I am and where I am, stalking with light activity, 5VCA779. All right, license plate 7CHG786, 6LYX823, 14060P2, 7ZMF460, 8NDL696, M265CO, 886NTM5, 7ZKE835. That's all facilitating activity. You hear AC68M74 paper. This is a black-faced demon monitoring with law enforcement, having nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, a stalker. License 8JSV330. 8JSV330, stalking with this other demon on the same street, sitting in the vehicle, using their vehicle as light. While you hear Union Pacific, that vehicle of that black-faced demon monitoring in concert with law enforcement, okay, stalking with the law enforcement, 7XMK047, demon possessed, monitoring with 8RNE787, in front of third-party facilitating venue, with the license plate 27986E2. This is 416, what is this street? That's a demon just creating noise. 416 B Street, at the intersection of B and Vine. 8FGU313, stopping to engage in parking. They're stalking with light. License 6ASW484. This is at 416 B Street. They're monitoring. And that's a facilitating video. City of Ontario, again, 1564986, crossing path, monitoring with those minions. The license plate associated with the venue, 412 B Street. License plate 7X73297. License plate 6FEG022, 8DSA246, 7NXL551, 11524W1, 89826B1, 5VAN304. And let's see. I don't think I got all of these over here. $5B10273. That's Walden's American Soulful Grill, parked at what is 210 North Vine Avenue, Building A, Unit A. That's what the signage says. This is an apartment building. 7XMK047 is loitering in relevant position. These are Spanish-speaking demons. 48935X2 at what is third-party facilitating venue, 428 Vine Street, Sophia's Barber and Beauty, and what is Vitamins Hierbas Tes Jabones. They're patrolling in and out. This is called natural products, Mexican natural products. They are located at 428 Vine Street, adjacent to what is the barbershop, Sophia's Barbershop at 426 Vine Street. This is a venue, and they're engaging in surveillance and doing so. And you're talking about what is deporting such venues, all right, that are engaging in surveillance with the states if they're not natural-born citizens. Third parties such as 7XMK047 stalking in the path, patrolling in and out of a venue. Nothing but the engagement in the elements in concert with the minions who are surrounding with light. While the state is flying over by plane, sounding train activity, while the state's fake sun is remaining present over my head. All right. It is currently 10:17 a.m. 5VCA779, 5YGU109. 6FUL581, in case I didn't read that one. 8KLR650. 8TGJ282. 7MQD231. I'm walking back up Vine now. I went down there to go get those license plates while they were maintaining light around the perimeter. 210 North Vine Avenue, Building C, Units E, F, and G. That's venue. 216 Vine Avenue, it's a venue. License 7HLN150, 60032X1, 7HEM905, already read that one, 6UKJ307, 8WGK750. This is Steve's service, Steve's stalking, 04932F2, and 8DGP237, 7AWR151, 6KDM299, 49241G2, 6BHL047, 8YIP513, 8ALU297. Let's see. Yeah, I think I read 82363F3 in case I didn't. There you go. 7BHL047, 8NND987, 6PVE381. 233 Vine Avenue, arriving at that venue in operation of their communication device crossing path, 8MIY069. Yeah, 8PVE381. And this is 233 Vine Avenue. All right, capturing the images of those minions crossing path, using their venue as a means for that, documenting it. 8XHW291. 8GQW620, and also they're in relevant position, and this minion's in operation of a communication device as well while she is on the grounds of what is a facilitating venue. 5EZN898, 71405G1. I gotta get that one. 8JZS305, 6K17956. 56985C3. 44258J2, 7TMP296, 7JMF341. $5WBG414. 15477F2. I think I already read 56985C3 8PJF724. Yeah. All right, walking down C Street now. 7ZNH 854 7XSA 024 6UZE 062 86. I'm trying to see that one. 86224Z2 6AND 593 6ROB 337 6MCH 340 6ZIM 905 8WYV 208 8UND 513 7V88940 8WYV 208 third party facilitating venue 407 C Street. While the state is flying over, hovering over this street right here where I'm at, I've documented before the venues used as a means of crossing path by me with a commercial airplane and the fake sun right over my head at what was the street, Fern and C Street. And that was, I believe, it was UPS or FedEx, one of those commercial airline planes hovering over the intersection of the fake sun glaring over my head. This is 401, 405, 407, 417 C Street. 418 C Street. License of 418, that venue at 418 C Street, 8UND 513. It's 8WYV 208. And that particular venue, 407 West G Street, I'm sorry, that's not West, this would be 407, perhaps East G Street. It's on the opposite side of the C Street. So this is 407. This is a venue where a minion lives, okay, which is called a third-party facilitating venue. The state is present vicariously through such minions who are engaging in monitoring and the maintenance of elements, and minions crossing path into those minions is another method of documenting them. All right. It is 6BPU 272 and it is currently 10:22 a.m. and those minions enter inside of 407 C Street in order to cross path. 8XNB 365, 7VTJ 381, 8FXV 744. 5D GB 374 3891 582. That's a paper plate. – 5BZJ 257 4WDH 556 7YGT 101 5LJK 885 5SO7 691 8LHC 832 8JQL 664. Okay, said I read that one already. And that's the state flying over these third-party facilitating venues where I'm documenting their license plates. License plate 66303E2. Seven TTR 411. 5 CPF 621, 3 MTM 644. ARKS. And by the way, these are the same minions that cross path when I'm at the B&G Plaza, when I'm on Hope Boulevard, and they're just driving by back and forth over and over and over again. I'm walking on Fern Street at the intersection of C in between D Street. All these minions, they're just engaging in taking turns and stalking, and now I'm walking through what are the neighborhoods of the demon-possessed, of what are third-party group stalkers engaging in surveillance while they're in their facilitating venues. 6MTW 617, because I specifically documented, for example, ARKS. Many of these license plates have been documented over and over again while they just engage in routine stalking with the government. 6X14397, 7ZTX 743, 6XTB 543. License plate 33164C3, 8JOZ 307, 8RET 978, BM 08W78, that's paper, 5ZDA 729, 8ZDZ 019, hold on, 5YEJ575 4H, sorry, that's wrong, 4HYF921. Yeah, 4HYF921. Okay. First of all, that's audible activity, but this little puppy has more spirit than it actually has might. This is the location of, by the way, this is a Dodge. This is the African American who was pacing in a vehicle. And while I'm using my phone, moving my finger, referencing what is the fake scent, he backs up and says, "Are you talking to me?" All right, that's P.O.C. by a demon that's monitoring, but also you're talking about what is paying very close attention to me. I would not be paying any attention to somebody else on the sidewalk. Speaking about what he cannot hear humanly, 8DFZ485. This is where this vehicle is parked. 8XNM206, and this is at the venue on, this is Fern. I don't see any street address. Let me get this. Alrighty, I did capture the images of that vehicle, and also I captured the VIN number, which I will be publishing. It is currently 10:27 a.m. And that vehicle is associated with what is adjacent to 329 Fern Avenue. I don't see the address on this shack looking of a venue, but 321 Unit B, I suppose, on Fern. 305A, 305B. This is Fern, where I'm at. These Indiana license plates, 186QD. This minion coming down the alley, stalking in the path. This is what is surveillance, okay? License plate, 5SRZ665. It is currently 10:28 a.m. All right, back to C Street, 8JQL664, which I read, 8EPZ843, 4DYR170, 5PZC061, 1DRAGNA. Eight WHB723. 8KDF 909, 8BES 717, 7JBP 154, 4JIS 256, 6CQE 940, crossing path, 8EQB 579, crossing path. That's a heavy set, double chin, white female. And you got another one walking through the parking lot. Alrighty, capturing on video what is surveillance by the people. You got a demon walking through an abandoned parking lot in order to maintain presence in the path while the license plates that I'm reciting to you are patrolling by me on the street. 6WKR851. And the state's fake sun is right over me and keeping in tow with me, in alignment with me as I am walking in the direction away from the from the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And that's what I'm also capturing in video, which is revealing what is demonic activity. These are demons. And this is surveillance of a demonic obsession of targeting one. This is what I am revealing. This is state surveillance, 06792T1. And this state surveillance, this system is entirely demonic, twisted. 10985F2. And it's 10:31 a.m., 8YHG120. And while the state's fake sun is covered up, you're talking about what is not going to be the sun. If that was actually the sun that was over me, remaining over the bus, which you already know it wasn't, but the state kept the fake sun in the window of the bus. Hello, relevant positioning 97934W2. Kept the fake sun over me while I'm on the bus, while I'm in the city of Fontana, arriving at what is 11:28 a.m. which was ahead of schedule, but you see that same fake sun in that same exact position in perfect alignment as I'm arriving in the city of Fontana, as though the actual sun maintains presence over all of our heads. Central presence while you're in a vehicle, while you're walking around, while you remain at a venue. That's not the ubiquitous presence of the actual sun. You're witnessing demonic activity. Look up in the sky and pay attention to what's going on. Demonic activity is all around you, and the state is surveilling you. All right, 6WPU817, because you have what is also no sun that is present, not the actual sun, in what are across state lines. All right, while they have hovering light sources above them as well. Pay attention because you're looking at it on television. 8MBU763. 7VOD848, 7F57103. And so there is no covering up. There is no delayed appearance whereby this is going to be the sun, which again, you're talking about documentation that I've already published revealing that. So you are understanding more and more, as I have clarified, which is also established through consistent documentation based on what is a continuity of purpose, a criminal purpose by a government to engage in stalking with light. And why are you doing so? First of all, because you're demon possessed, because you're engaging in surveillance. They're monitoring with communication devices. 8KIR499 does not have anything else more important to do. That demon is focused on me and is engaged in obsessive, life-threatening stalking. And that's why she's got a car full of kids while she is monitoring with the government. All right, and she's a demon doing so. 3F8E101. She doesn't have anything more important to do. And her focus is me. That's why an entire fake environment surrounds me. It's 10:33 a.m. And so that license is a third-party crossing path while I'm walking on Palm Avenue. I'm at the intersection of Palm and C Street. And so, like I said, with regard to what the state is documenting, you're talking about there is no time of day. Contrary to what I've documented, there is no time of day where you're going to delay the arrival of the brightness of the fake sun when it's still present when you're trying to cover it up with clouds. It's still present when you are changing the color, making it more dull. It is that same object that remains over my head. It is equally fake. You're talking about also, there is no time of day where you're going to have what is documentation of following me with this, what's supposed to be the sun, and then it's going to remain over what's 280 North Limit Apartments. That's very precise positioning. It's not in alignment with what is Fontana Lewis Library. You're talking about what the state is doing. That's stalking with light, period. Straight up and down stalking, revealing what are goofy demons, BU52K15 paper, goofy demons of the government, goofy demons that I document while they're hostile because I'm revealing their condition and their criminal activity, and the fact that they're sex offenders, 72176F3, and they like to listen to me sleep, they like to listen to me pull my panties down, and they don't like the fact that that information is being revealed, and I'm gonna prosecute them with it. They don't like that, and I don't care. I don't have any respect for some demon-possessed weirdo who's obsessed with what's going on between my legs in a bathroom and where I'm sleeping in a car. You're concerned about that. You have issues, serious ones. 22059R1, you're dealing with Satan. You're dealing with the demon-possessed who are flying around me in helicopter. That's Satan, 6FWM246. And that government is going to be prosecuted for all of that audible activity that you heard at state facilitated venue, Fontana Lewis Library, where surveillance was underway under what was a fake sun. Directed light. Demons sitting in there stalking with activity, being demons all day long. All day long. And literally engaged in every pattern of the criminal system. Defamation, summoning, harassment. License plate 7FRB676, 6VVE224, 7NWV910, 8BWR671, BUZ8S73, a paper plate, sitting around stalking in the path, turns on their headlights as I read their license plate, as I turn to read their license plate. All right, they're already present, engaging and waiting on my arrival while the state is sounding helicopter activity and the state's fake sun is over my head. All right, 6G64377. Pedro, you ship him up out of the country. 7WSZ801 if he's not a natural born citizen. All right, license 8DCH266. 8BKV579. 8KDE758. 7LRJ490. 8YDY455. 8KAU970. 6SHE609, V106108, I believe that's Illinois. I'm sorry, this is 6SHF609. 8RYX901. 8JDN485, 5WXA114. 6PJF 450. 10:37 a.m. 8KLB 667, 8XRE 567, 8AVC 303, 8EDD 065, 8SGX 975, 7ZSJ 683, 8NUF 060. I think I already read 8JDN 485, yeah. 8EDD065, read that one. 8AVC 303, 5ZJE 367. AS 526, handicap. 6YGJ 088, 7DKA 701, 6ANW 544, 6USK 653, 5PWK 110. BE39M79 paper, 8DZA 801, 8WFX 733, 7XEX 506, 8VGL 468, 7XRX 541. You said I read that one already? 8GEU 127, 6SHF 609. Yeah, I read that one. 8YDY 455, read that. This is 215 Laurel. These venues over here in relevant position, they're all monitoring 19971R2. That minion's covered up their paper plate. I'll get this minion over here driving into this parking lot. These are minions on Laurel Avenue. I documented them. State was keeping its fake sun over me while these minions were using not only these venues over here, but also where the chiropractor's office was. And the state literally went underneath a tree and remove the shade. That's impossible light activity. I documented that. 8JPR 429. These are minions who are monitoring. It's also a facilitating venue. I'm talking about 205 Ernesto's, 211, which is Farmers Insurance, David Vo, on 211 Laurel, La Dance, Ontario. That's 215 Laurel Avenue, 213 Laurel Avenue. These are facilitating venues, which at nightfall, they also create flickering lights. They're facilitating. 7L11660. This is ongoing surveillance, and I'm documenting them now walking down the street. These are license plates that are parked outside of these properties. They're all monitoring. That's why you have all of those demons that were scattered around like cockroaches as I was approaching that intersection. All of the rest of them are monitoring as well, including, this is why you document City of Ontario stalking in the path. All right, it is currently 10:40 a.m. and all those minions that I just read their license plates are monitoring. 7LRJ 490. License 6MTA 489. (8KDE 758, 8BKV 579). Alrighty, and this minion is stalking with the City of Ontario. 66G4377. And this demon is stalking with City of Ontario, who is sitting in the path with lights on. 6VVE224. 41386E3. I also documented the Inland Conservatory of Performing Arts. It's right here across the street. I showed you the fake sun over my head and the engineered light, impossible light activity as you're looking at the cars in the parking lot. I documented this venue already very heavily. 8DER728, direct light my shadow upright appearing at a distance while I'm walking on the sidewalk, while this entity engaged in criminal summoning, doing so in direct light under a fake sun. 5CUB768. All right, that's the pattern while they're engaging in criminal conduct, demonic activity, and engaging in criminal summoning. You're understanding the necessity of policy as demons engage in a very unique and precisely uniform pattern of conduct. 49166G2 while the state flies over, 5MRD735, AGQS943, 7BBZ531. All right, that demon whose image I took, and I just read their license plate, they're crossing path using their vehicle as light while the state is flying directly over this parking lot of the Inland Conservatory of the Performing Arts. 7BBZ531, MTM8710, that's Texas. 8GDN516, 7SGK277, 598ZR, Alrighty, and like I said, they're not taking off. These commercial airline planes, they're not taking off. They're hovering right here where I am at this parking lot, where you have the simultaneity of conduct. You have a demon that comes closely by me and is having trouble parking in a parking spot. That's a demon that's pacing using light. All right, while the state is flying over, hovering over me in the parking lot with a commercial airline plane. All right, and that is distinct from hovering over this Ontario Village Shopping Center where I'm standing in that parking lot where I'm standing. That's what you see on video with UPS doing that. That's what you hear on my podcast while I'm standing in front of DD's Discounts. All right, it's ongoing simultaneity of conduct while they do that. And also you're witnessing what is a targeting conduct. This isn't even, you're not looking at those planes making a zigzag across the street. They're flying in a line, hovering right over me where the fake sun is. And you're talking about what is the B&G Plaza. That's not an ongoing place of where they're remaining. They're moving as I move, migrating to whatever direction that I'm moving in. And it is speaking to also what you see at the 280 Northland Apartments. All right, you're engaging in what is nothing other than using commercial airline planes to maintain relevant positioning. And maintaining, you are creating and engaging in the elements of monitoring in that environment. That is, in other words, you're creating audible activity under the fake sun. You're creating audible activity in directed light. All right, you're talking about what is engaging in relevant positioning while you're hovering in planes, or you are flying at a higher elevation where the state is still amplifying impossible audible activity of plane activity, while either you are flying also at a higher elevation and the state is just amplifying other methods of noise, such as train activity, while they are still stalking in the path they're not doing. Understand all the ways in which they engage in that pattern of kind of using commercial airline planes as a method of stalking. All right, they are targeted on my location, and that ongoing environment is that which they are doing it in 8LXS 950. 7XOH722, 6NFC603, 8CBF094, McCarthy Monitoring, 265ZD Handicap, and the Inland Conservatory of the Performing Arts, 104 West C Street. All right, under what is a fake sun and in directed light, as I've shown you on video, you have demons stalking with light, supplementing for what is the state covering up its fake sun that's remaining in alignment with me, remains over my head. But you're talking about what is engaging in what is the conduct of a subdued fake sun, maintaining that same conduct of what is being the center of the universe, that which is not the actual sun, which you can still see through what are clouds in the sky as it remains over me. License plate 8EEY 309, 8PFX 908, 7LUN 782, 8XCB097, 7EHL820. Let me tell you about these demons at this non-church. It's not a real church. Demonic activity is underway, and they are in relevant position. It's called Lavos. Lavos is nothing but a third-party facilitating venue engaging in what is relevant positioning and engaging in surveillance with the state. And this demonic activity is engaging in what is the use of a vehicle to stalk with light at the corner. Understand, this is concerted with McCarthy. License 6YAJ425. This paper plate BE30V65 on a Ford 3150. The VIN number is 1FT8W3DTONEC3359. Expires December 21st, 2021, which is already passed. It's a white Ford 350 used as a means of light activity at the intersection of Euclid and C Street. McCarthy is creating light as well. 48MM524, 8TCD286, 4FLY750, 7HCJ707, 7UUT882, 6GYA688, 8NWA377. And you are talking about what is a vehicle used as a means of maintenance of light, okay? And that's what is acting in concert with McCarthy, who's in front in the path of the street that I'm walking on, using light, okay? And if I wasn't walking on C Street, you're talking about what is the maintenance of that light by some other third party or state actor. You're talking about stalking with light, all right? So it's not a coincidence that's happening while I'm walking on the street, which I've already shown by a pattern of conduct that's to the exclusion of any coincidence. That's what a pattern is. It's exceeding the possibility of coincidence when you have established what is a pattern. 6WXK615, and this is a prolonged pattern of conduct maintaining presence in the path and doing so in concert with light and while ongoing audible activity. 6XAL916, while you are engaging in what is entirely demented conduct, the stalking with methods of noise making and stalking in the path, appearing out of the blue especially, and that just means visibly appearing out of the blue when you are already present, engaging in heavy-duty, demon-possessed, like obsessive-type stalking conduct. All right, those are demons that are doing that. License 8SHG946, 8XXD275, 1602154, City of Ontario, 8TKS432, 7WKP069, license 8BCH270, 8SDN128, and that's McCarthy creating audible activity. License 8XTJ149. I'm sorry, 8XTJ419. HKL525. And the demon whose license plate I read with the paper plate, they're maintaining light while these demons are patrolling, which McCarthy is doing on the opposite side of the street, and which the entity is also doing at Euclid and Hope Boulevard, okay? The perimeter with light, 6XAL916. And that is the P.O.C, by the way. That's what the state is doing with the fake sun. 7FLW926, 6BDC345. License plate 7AMJ913. Alrighty, documenting that minion that gets into the vehicle with the paper plates using the hazards 40356D3, and the minion that comes right behind me while I use my phone. That's a different function. This is a demon, 8RBW066. 5468. C3, I believe. Can't really see it. I took an image of that minion that's getting inside of that vehicle. You can see their appearance, all right? And it appears to be either a Caucasian or a Latino male with a short buzz cut, wearing sunglasses and a dark blue hoodie, coming out of the facilitating venue adjacent to it. You're talking about what is Strum Brewing Company. That's a facilitating venue. You're talking about what is using light activity while demons are patrolling, repeatedly crossing path, maintaining and contributing to what is a circuit of light at the perimeter. All right, license plate BARBGOO 8TSG017 8R53427. And Strum Brewing Company, Concha Verde. These are venues that are on Euclid Avenue, adjacent to Lavos, this entire street. I document December 31st, we'll call that. So the state's covering up its fake sun today. I've already shown you what the state is doing with the fake sun. There is no getting out of the P.O.C. 6A40217, 7VIM413, 4KTP523, 8VBJ527, 7JVN112, 5YCD397, 69074R2, 7GCF995, 29679W2, USPS vehicle 6421633, 4ZPF288 or 298, can't really see that one clearly. It's 10:50 a.m. and that's what I mean with regard to the documentation. You've already seen what is stalking with a clearly fake sun. December 31st, January 1st, 2022, January 2nd, 2022, January 3rd, 2022, and you're understanding what is, as I pointed out, substantial documentation. Just as I was pointing out the grand contrast what the state was doing. I mean that's not the actual sun, in other words. And it was great documentation. 28789T2, 8XTU423. And when you understand what the government is doing, you understand what companies are doing. McCarthy is doing nothing but engaging in surveillance. Their actual focus is not building some parking garage. This is where the state is placing a fake sun, engaging in surveillance, and they're demons that engage in stalking with activity, 6SNW716. While they're appearing to be focused on construction, these are demons that use that outward appearance of that activity to stalk with noise while they are maintaining presence of the path. And you also are understanding what is 7TLB171, stalking with light. And that's the direct evidence. I've already shown you day in and day out what is the fake sun. The entity is stalking with light, and that's exactly what McCarthy is doing. 7MTH094, and you're understanding what is the harm as commercial actors engage in surveillance with the government, engaging in criminal conduct with the people of the state. BJG9514, Arizona. 5HUG339, 8PEB324, 7NWS474, 37398A1, 5Z37392. It's 10:51 a.m. 4ULK947, 8PDV137. These are minions monitoring with McCarthy. License plate BTQ Z274. 10624E2, 8WMB, I can't really see that, 8WQL727, 32764E3, 6YJK877, BR27675, 54340W1, 8PBF949, 8BQL650, 1258058, 8FTU203, and it's currently 10:52. Alrighty, showing you the minion that is associated with license plate 79525P2, vehicle 4659. He's crossing path. He's wearing a yellow jacket and a hard hat. He's a demon that's engaging in P.O.C. Monitoring with the other demon that stops on Euclid Avenue to turn on their lights as well. That, again, that's license 79525P2. He's crossing path while walking to this little machine that they have up. He is stalking in the path while I start using my camera and documenting license plates. All right. And another minion adding light activity is stopped on the opposite side of Euclid, and they are creating light activity as well as I was reading all those license plates. I captured that white boy's image. License plate 5760722. I understand that's a white-faced, demon-possessed stalker engaging in surveillance on behalf of the government. License plate. It's 10:53 a.m. 6RAK265 8AJJ811 NOOBASA. And it is 10:53 a.m. and I'm crossing what is 7U47014, crossing what is C Street at Euclid Avenue. 7ETK094, 7EQV805, Dewey, 41396G2, 6L5538, I believe, 8UAN679, 7NGG813, 8YYZ213, 8BHH155, 7LMK093, Hart, EDYOGA, 5MHN381, 8TFC174, 7WGC280, 7HDD015, 6A40217. Those minions know that they were documented. They're just patrolling. 8FTU203. This is nothing but stalkers. 7DRV952. Nothing but stalkers. 7GCF995. 8YBF. I'm sorry, 8Y, yeah, BF541, the same one I already documented at Wells Fargo. Now, as I'm approaching Wells Fargo. 5ZGW627, 8RFV2817, 7Y92443. Alrighty, and this minion maintaining presence on Euclid Avenue, license 8YJW710, a license 4GDE374, license 30619. I can't see the rest of that license plate. All right, but this minion, this is the one monitoring with the white boy who's wearing a hard hat, stalking in the path, using their job as a means of surveillance, engaging in demonic activity. Nothing but a demon wearing a hard hat. 8WKA629. Monitoring with this minion, 053328, 5CGT657, 4ULK947. This is the minion that stops on the opposite side of the street. They're supplementing light activity monitoring with McCarthy. All right, license plate 80D17Y2, and I did capture that minion's image while he's creating light activity, stalking in the path, adding to what is the perimeter with light around where I'm at. All right, maintaining light in the path. It's demonic. An operation of a communication device as well. 7AGD035, and the state maintains a light source over me, even as it tries to cover that light source up. 78000C1, and demons are engaging in the supplementation of light activity, stalking with light in the path, and that's what you're doing as a commercial actor. That's what you're doing as a demon in your own vehicle. That's what you're doing as a demon inside of any private residence or establishment. 5DTD234, which understand private residence doesn't exist where the government is surveilling you. They're called venues, third party and state facilitating venues. 753JM handicap 3856. I can't see that one. 8JQK078, and that minion 4ULK947. That's a Latino male wearing a hat, keeping his head down, monitoring me. 6Z70834. I captured his images, and he is now leaving from loitering in relevant position. That's an act of terrorism as he documented, because the entirety of an entity engages in stalking. Everywhere you're going, stalking with light. 8RCG262, like you see the state doing with a fake sun. They're demons. The people are doing the exact same thing. It's the state's pattern of conduct. It's demonic activity. 7Y92443, 8RNX510. It's 10:57 a.m. 8CBE177. That's the sound of sirens. License 5ZGW627. That's called audible activity. The demons of the state as they act directly. 5 MRE788, but I believe I read those already. This is Wells Fargo. They are monitoring to the light activity created by McCarthy. 7 RMV217, 6 JDW421, 8 PTX998, 5 JHR 559, YP08646. That's Shual Transport Incorporated, W391VO, 5 CRT299. Xiao is spelled like SHUAHO, something very unique. All right, that is a large truck crossing path, but that was a license plate on the front of it. Alrighty, it's 10:58 a.m. 8YBF 541 stalking in the parking lot. 6GXT940 stalking in the parking lot. 5 MRE788 stalking in the parking lot. McCarthy stalking in the parking lot. So they're present with McCarthy at the McCarthy structure. This is actually called White Owl Rental, California 0239764. And the license plate of this construction vehicle. Oh, it is McCarthy. He's wearing a McCarthy jacket. Let's see. I don't see a license plate on this construction vehicle. But crossing path with the license plate in that light activity is 8YBF 541. After loitering, waiting for me to arrive to engage in crossing the path. Alrighty. These are demons driving construction vehicles. License plate. That's White Owl Rental Incorporated and McCarthy. White Owl Rental Incorporated is license plate 9F76766. License 8S U.S.699. Alright, documenting White Owl. They are monitoring with 8SUS699, loitering in the Wells Fargo parking lot. Fake sun is over my head, which I show you above Ontario Town Square, which is not over the 280 North Limit Apartments, none of which is going to be possible if that was actually the sun as I showed you on video as I arrive at 11:28 a.m. Contrasting that with 11:57 a.m. 48 hours ago, where I am arriving at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and the state kept its fake sun, street for street, turn for turn, as I arrive ahead of schedule yesterday, and that same stalking conduct with that which is not the sun, showing you today what is the state keeping a fake sun over me in the city of Ontario, nowhere near the B&G Plaza, as I do not go even in that direction. I remain at the B&G Plaza. I remain at the Ontario Village Shopping Center. I show you on video what is the maintenance of the fake sun. 59485U1 is what is on video, which is HD Supply, and it looks like it's associated with also Ryder. Vehicle 353562. HD Supply is US.88111 under the fake sun that's over my head, by the way, while these commercial actors are creating light activity. And this is P.O.C. 6WDN231. All right, so you have what is the impossibility of that being the sun. That is what is tethering together with our black-faced demons, monitoring with law enforcement. That's what ties that together. It has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. There are demons engaging in what is a creation of a false narrative. All right, while surveillance is going on by the government, using what our company is engaging in that surveillance, engaging in the elements of monitoring, light activity, and you're also witnessing what are demons. This is a fake sun. You're not looking at what is a stage where they're holding some gravitational pull such that it's able to maintain, and by it I mean the fake sun, maintain this perfect presence over my head. You're witnessing demonic activity as I'm showing you what is not the sun. And you're witnessing the demon possessed. That's what's significant. And the government is monitoring. The government is monitoring, engaging in surveillance. But understand that this is demonic activity. All right, and it is also exclusive to what is California because there is only one sun, and so therefore you are talking about what is hovering over American citizens across state lines, and it's not the sun. This is what the government is doing, and this is demonic. It's entirely demonic, but it's revealing what is none other than that irreducible direct evidence of surveillance by government in violation of existing law. That's Title 18, but you're also understanding what is the ways in which the government engages in that surveillance, and that's what I captured on video under the fake sun. While McCarthy is under that which is impossible to be the sun, McCarthy is in the path creating light activity and doing so intentionally. All right, that is the absolute removal of any coincidence. It's not coincidental. It is the pattern of conduct. Stalking with the state who is keeping a fake sun over me. This is how you are identifying the fact that the government is targeting. And it's a demon-possessed entity engaging in entirely malicious conduct, not focused on anything else, having nothing more important to do. What they are doing is surveilling with me and monitoring the documentation. All right, that same fake sun over the Fontana Lewis Library, while Sarah Bartlett and the rest of those minions were engaging in harassment because I am documenting their criminal conduct, revealing them. Those are demons that I'm encountering, like I said. Okay, so that's HD Supply. That's White Owl Rental Incorporated. That's beside what is the Wells Fargo, the demon whose license plate I documented You're looking at, they're in the parking lot, stalking in the path. All those demons that are in the parking lot, as I said, stalking in the parking lot, stalking in the they're maintaining presence in the path while the state is moving a fake sun over my head. McCarthy's creating light, HD Supply is creating light. And there is no light source over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. What does the state do? Keeps the fake sun over my head and moves it relative to where I move as I move. And that's why it's not ever going to be possible that was the actual sun over me when street for street, and as I arrive, as I show you, at the same location 2 days in a row at 2 different times. So if you saw, in other words, 48 hours ago, the state's fake sun remaining street for street, turn for turn, as I'm documenting the entity stalking, the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, the San Bernardino County Sheriff, American Medical Response at Santa Anita and 4th Street, 5 MRE 788, 5 MRE 788. I'm documenting what is the entity engaging in the pattern of conduct, the city of Ontario, stalking at every turn, just like they were this morning, again, where I sleep, obsessive stalking. This is terrorism by the municipality, engaging in the same demon-possessed obsession. This is what the entity is doing, surveilling and stalking. But that's what that's revealing. You are obsessed, and you are a very disturbed stalker, all right? And doing so on behalf of the government, which is also disturbed. It's demonic. But like I said, so while I'm documenting and I arrive, you're remaining over my head, turn for turn, street for street, with that which is supposed to be the sun. It's not, but this is the consistent analysis. As I arrive at the Fontana Metrolink train station on the Omnitrans bus, and you are the bus is driving on Orange Way from Sierra, and I'm showing you the fake sun that's directly over me through the window as it remained for the entire route. I'm arriving at what is 11:57 a.m. and then I'm walking to the Fontana Lewis Library. But whereas yesterday, and that's at 11:57 a.m. again, I am arriving ahead of what is 11:57 a.m. I arrive at 11:28 a.m. at that same street of Orange Way. And the state's fake sun is in that same position. That is impossible when at 11:28 a.m. the day prior, I am not at that street yet. And this is supposed to be the sun, ATRR068. It's not the sun. Because the actual sun, again, is not moving street for street, advancing north over a vehicle, which is what the state is doing. From the Ontario airport, you're moving north over the bus while it's then driving on Archibald. And then as it turns to drive east on Inland Empire, you're talking about street for street. That's what the state is doing with the fake sun. All right, but I'm showing you even for time frame, time of year, stalking with the fake sun. And that's what I'm showing, and that's what McCarthy, that's what these companies are doing on behalf of the government. Under what is a fake sun that is remaining over me, and that is not anywhere to be present over the Open Family Community Library entrance area. Showing you what is also directed light, not sunlight. In addition to what are multiple shadows and engineered light, inexplicable light just appearing all over the place. But that is P.O.C. It's 11:07 a.m. and I captured that video. And the state's fake sun follows to the Open Family Community Library. The state trying to cover it up is no form. There is an ongoing pattern of stalking with light, which is already published, and that is already established. You're dealing with a psychopath and a government that is a criminal and just wants to avoid additional documentation, especially comparisons of what is the fake sun day by day, year by year, hour by hour. It's 11:07 a.m. and this is P.O.C. All right, it is currently 11:26 a.m. and as I showed on video, and documenting the commercial actors, this is the demon possessed using nothing but companies. This is a malicious state surveillance system, as I'm showing you what is interstate stalking by the state and by the people of the state. And so you're also looking at what is, again, you're remembering, it's 11:26 a.m. right now. I have still yet to arrive. I'm preparing to arrive 24 hours ago in Fontana. And I'm showing you while I'm outside at the Wells Fargo, which is facing the Ovid Family Community Library, as I'm facing east, that is. And the absence of, first of all, the light source, where the state is customarily placing that light source over that apartment building as though that's the sun. And so also you're witnessing what is not the sun. The state is maintaining presence relative to where I am based on the route that I am taking to any particular venue, including the same venue, which is also understanding what is stalking with light and that which is not the sun. But you're also understanding in the city of Fontana is where I remain, and you're witnessing what is the remaining and following with the light source to this venue, and what is the demonic activity that is underway. So I want to be clear, like I said, I'm at Ovid Family Community Library. This is a state facilitating venue, engaging in the same exact pattern of federal group stalking and monitoring, engaging in harassment while demons who are furious while they are monitoring my documentation, engage in an ongoing perpetual sex offense, and then show hostility while their criminal conduct and sexual violence is documented. So I want to be clear on that. It's 11:27 a.m. and you have what is the state's fake sun that is present as I arrive, and it remains at this venue, which is documentation of what is federal group stalking and monitoring in the private space. Demons are doing nothing but patrolling around in what is directed light while they are focused on what I'm doing on my phone, on the computer, on desktop number 26, by the way, inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, which is covered in what is abnormal light. It's directed light. I've shown you the pacing shadow activity while I'm walking. It's impossible light activity inside of this venue. And these are demons that are just meandering around in relevant position based on what I do as I do it. They're engaging in an ongoing stalking with activity in what is directed light, in concert with the state that is also engaging in maintaining presence with a light source with directed light around the perimeter of the building, which I've also shown. And you see the demons outside of commercial actors such as McCarthy and White Owl Incorporated and HD Supply surrounding the venue with light. Understand, so you're understanding what is the sex offender that is FedEx, who I showed you in relevant position, engaging in that same pattern of conduct with knowledge of the fact that I am in the private space physically indisposed while the state is aiming directed light inside. There's a reason why that impossible light is there. There's a reason why you have what is this pattern of stalking with light. That is the sex offender while that pattern of conduct is underway, while you're physically indisposed, subject to surveillance by the government, including those who are commercial actors. So this is where you are understanding the sex offender that are indiscriminate with regard to the ways in which the state is engaging in that sexual violence. Using a commercial such as FedEx will be the prosecution of a sex offender by identification of a company engaging in such manners of violating American citizens whom they are placing under surveillance with the government, all right? And that's what that documentation is revealing. You have what is that pattern of conduct underway, and so this is documentation speaking to what is none other than pacing around. This is terrorism by psychopaths who are walking around on surveillance cameras in directed light, stalking in the path, focusing everything that they are doing, including what is stalking with noise in engineered light, stalking with their presence, and also chasing into the bathroom. Okay, it is 11:29 a.m. This is P.O.C. at Ovid Family Community Library. Right, it's currently 1:30 p.m. And as I documented, I remain subject to surveillance. That includes inside of the private space of Ovid Family Community Library, or whatever venue I happen to be inside of. I want to document, and so that is on the surveillance cameras where I enter and exit the restroom, and I exit the building of the venue. And I'm currently sitting on the bench that faces the Ontario Senior Center, and it is, my back is to what is the 280 North Limit Apartments. McCarthy is creating ongoing activity, light activity and audible activity, which the state is amplifying, and the state is flying over this parking lot, this venue area, in the same way that I show you as I walk from, for example, the B&G Plaza, and the state remains over me, migrating north as I walk north to the Ovid Family Community Library area, and does so with planes keeping the fake sun over me and direct light all around me. As I sit here outside, the state is flying over by a commercial airline plane. That is the ongoing repetitious use of audible activity, amplified in nature, for the engagement of what is massive monitoring with communication device on an average of every 45 to 90 seconds. And the entity is monitoring to that. So I want to document that. And I've also documented that before, as I would sit on the side of the library and you have what is light activity, all the methods that are employed to create light activity, as I've documented, in the state stalking by commercial airline planes and helicopter. Okay, I've documented this before, and that's what the state is doing now. I want to point something out to you. The video that I captured of McCarthy engaging in criminal stalking, interstate stalking, surveillance with the government, and doing so under a company name. That is, in other words, understand, state surveillance under the name of McCarthy Construction. That's what that is. And you have what is engagement in criminal elements, not engagement in what is focused on constructing a parking structure, okay? And so what I'm showing you with regard to the state's fake sun that is over me as it was the entire time as I remain at the Ontario Village Shopping Center. It was also present at 630 North Fern, where the city of Ontario is creating light activity beside the vehicle that this entity knows that I'm sleeping inside of, engaging in what is terrorizing, threatening, and stalking conduct, all right, this is the demon-possessed engaging in that level of obsession. The same obsession demonstrated as this entity is stalking in bathrooms, in all-around bathrooms, which is sexually violent and predatory, all right, and perverted. You have what is, if you pay attention in that video, White Oak LLC. This is the operation of what is a heavy-duty machine while they are appearing to be focused on what's construction. They're not. This is P.O.C. You see this by the fake sun, which is impossible to be the fake sun, I'm sorry, the actual sun, if it's over me as I'm en route to Fontana, which I showed yesterday, January 12th, 2022. But nonetheless, this minion that's driving this vehicle, identified as White Oak LLC, this minion, it's a male, And he is in operation of his communication device. That's something that I did not specifically point out while I was capturing the video and all of the aspects of the P.O.C. that were pointed out. He is driving this vehicle, creating light activity, monitoring with the medians who are patrolling in the parking lot, and he is focused on his phone. He's aiming his phone toward me while he is in operation of a heavy-duty machine. I just want to point out that's just another common sense aspect of understanding what is monitoring, and not he is holding his phone and holding it up toward me while he's focused on the fact that I'm documenting the state's fake sun and all of the patrolling around, the light activity by HD Supply and the light activity by McCarthy and White Oak. And this is something that the driver was doing. He's in operation of a very dangerous machine, a large heavy-duty machine, which is supposed to be his form for presence. And this is the stripping down and understanding how the state is engaging in surveillance through companies, through commercial actors, and what you're witnessing, which is demonic activity. And this demon is in operation of his communication device, monitoring, okay? Not focused on the operation of that heavy-duty machine. And that company, again, is White Oak, LLC. I just wanted to point that out. It's currently 1:34 p.m. and this is P.O.C. as I remain at Ovid Family Community Library. The state is amplifying plane engines, stalking, in relevant position, and what is directed light that remains. I'm inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern. I want to document what is terrorism. So the state is just aiming like lightning type shaped directed light across the front of this vehicle, where again it's based on where I'm facing. If I was looking at the back of the car, the state would be aiming impossible light activity in the back of the car. Right, there are demons that are focused on me. By virtue of the existence and ongoing documentation of directed light, but you're talking about psychopath stalking, where I turn and face my body, turn my direction to look. This is where the entity is focusing activity. It's like the most psychotic thing to ever document and to ever see. All right. So anyway, that's the reality of what the entity is doing, aiming directed light across what is inside of the vehicle. I'm sitting on the passenger side, the glove compartment, the dashboard in front of me on the passenger side, while demons are crossing path on G Street. That is the combination of what is light activity and doing so while demons are crossing path in the aggregate, this is patrolling. This is the state stalking, crossing path over and over and over again. That's what group stalking is. Maintenance in the path. And that's how and why I have documented thousands engaging in group stalking on video, okay? I want to be clear, the entity doing that is the ongoing criminal conduct that you witnessed on video while the city of Ontario was stalking in the path, creating light activity, while the demons that are the people of the state were patrolling on G Street. That's exactly what you were looking at. Demonic activity and the same combination of what is light and crossing of path. And you're witnessing what is a demon showing their obsession, because that was nothing but federal group stalking and monitoring by the municipality, listening to my very breathing patterns, hopping up to appear as they are engaging in something, even though it is legally irrelevant for the government's prosecution. You're talking about what is a psychopath engaging in that conduct, though. Understand? That's showing the psychopath. That doesn't have any legal argument. You don't have any form. What you're doing is already known. Understand the psychopath engaging, let me look like I'm doing something in a municipality vehicle wearing a hard hat while you're stalking in the path, creating light activity in the environment and the ongoing stalking and all of those surrounding circumstances that already pre-exist my documenting the municipality stalking outside of the vehicle where I'm sleeping. All right. That's P.O.C. And so I want to document that. And that is ongoing while I'm inside of the vehicle. This is on an ongoing basis. But again, this is relevant to what is the prosecution. I'm adding, I'm not adding. I'm speaking to what is a very thorough and comprehensive prosecution. And you're speaking to what is an ongoing pattern of conduct that was underway while you witnessed me encountering psychopaths, the demon possessed, who are demonstrating what is hostility to that which they shall be subject to. Okay, revealing what is demonic activity in the United States, which is relevant to what is criminal conduct and the creation of policy to deal with demonic activity, which is very real. Secondly, dealing with the ways in which you're going to prosecute those unlawful threats posed by such psychopaths and violent sex offenders, because you are witnessing what is the conduct of the government acting in concert via the people and everything that they say, everything that they do. And while they do it in concert on behalf, you are stalking while you're standing there in my face, engaging and waging a threat verbally. All right. While you're engaging in stalking in relevant position, while the state's creating amplified audible activity in the bathroom while my panties are down. This is all manner of a threat. All right. It's all the ways in which you're going to prosecute the government. And that was the P.O.C. that was ceaselessly underway. It didn't pause. That was the P.O.C. The environment remained. They were contributing not only are you prosecuting for the audible activity, the substance of that audible activity by those demons who surrounded at the Fontana Lewis Library. That's what I'm referencing. Sarah Bartlett. And the demon who documented herself, I got that minion's face, I got her license plate, I got where she works, and she gave her name as well. While she rattled on information which was nothing but audible activity, while she engaged in assault and battery on behalf of an entity, harassment, in concert with understand the totality of that entity engaged in harassment. What you were listening to Sarah Bartlett, a disingenuous effort to resolve an issue that she did not want to really resolve while she is monitoring me, okay? And she is engaging in what is then harassment, never addressing the issue, and then escalating it to excluding me from the property because I'm requiring her and she doesn't like the way I'm running down, the way she's not engaging in what her job should be, and the ways that the circumstances were if I were to hit the white woman, okay? All right, and don't be clear. Let me be clear. This is not about race, but understand the dynamics that are relevant. That is relevant. All right, I'm the threat. I'm the dangerous one. I'm the homeless stranger posing a threat to her, which is also what she was trying to. I'm threatening her while I'm on the opposite side of the room. All right, now that's in their twisted universe. She doesn't even have a point in her twisted universe and under the law in their alternate universe, but also under the reality, which is the P.O.C. that's underway, she also doesn't have any basis. She's monitoring. That's the government that you hear rattling off all that damning information in relevant position. All right. So like I said, the P.O.C. is underway now, and that's why it's also relevant that I continue to document it, because the P.O.C. was underway then, and understand that. It's no small thing. All right. You're talking about what is surveillance by a government, and then you want to engage in ongoing threatening conduct. Understand that this is obstruction of justice. All right, understand that criminal defamation serves the kidnapping and defaming purposes of the government that engage in literally making up information together and all of the minions together. Oh, yeah, she's on drugs. She was saying this and this and that. And next thing you know, you're kidnapped, taken to a hospital, and they're making up information about why you need to be there medically speaking. Understand this is what the government is doing, but for the identification of what is surveillance and showing the illegitimacy of the government, the kidnapping conduct of the government that is surveilling American citizens who pose a threat. Because I'm aware of it and I'm documenting it. And that is actually what the government has engaged in before. The state has engaged in that very conduct. You are not engaging in idle speech. First of all, it's audible activity, but it's not idle. It's no small thing when you engage in defamation while the P.O.C. is underway. They use those very lies and fabrications to monitor you and threaten your life, to also defame you, which is resulting, it's relevant to what is a threat to your liberty, to kidnapping. Understand that. And let me point something else out. And right now I'm speaking to what is yesterday Fontana Lewis Library at on January 12, 2021. Let me point something else out, another point. Criminal summoning, understand, but if it was the other way around, you're talking about the arrival of law enforcement who are demons, who are monitoring the entire time. You're understanding the breakdown of this system. You're engaging in what is the demon's malicious system, the form. Oh, I'm going to call the police. The police are already monitoring. You're subject to a state surveillance system. All right. This is referred to as criminal summoning. And you have what is the engagement in criminal summoning arriving. Were I to place my hands on that female, you also would not have, in reality, they do not have any right. They don't have any legitimate exercise under the law. You're talking about the exercise of fictitious authority. If this were the case and I were to engage in defense of self-defense, all right, because she placed her hands on me. And this is also the beauty of documentation. But nonetheless, you were talking about what is the reality. You're dealing with the government, which is a bully. You're dealing with a government that is a psychopath. These are demons. This is demonic activity. These are those who are engaging in a determined and disconnected, delusional effort to face what is the demise of this entire existence of this system. All right. Not only is it revealed, you're going to face justice, period. And you don't like it, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay. So you're talking about a psychopath. All right. So in order, and also it's even I'm going to step back even beyond that. You're talking about what is the creation of what is general policy. All right. So it's not about me knocking out this freckle-faced white girl who is actually very petrified. She's engaging in not only putting on a show for the rest of the minions, but creating audible activity. She's monitoring. All right. But it's scared to death. Let me be honest with that. OK, this is the demon I'm encountering and is engaging in what is haughty activity creation. And yes, she very well could have gotten knocked out, but that's neither here nor there. She's a minion. She's beneath me. She's stalking me. She's listening to me pull my panties down in the bathroom. She's sitting around, crawling, creeping around corners, waiting to walk out to sit next to me. That's the reality. She's the freak weirdo with 3 and 4 shadows all around. All right. Light shooting around like it's Star Trek. She's the freak weirdo. She's a psychopath. That's the reality. And that's also why It is beneath me. I'm going to surround you with evidence and I'm going to choke the life out of you with that prosecution. That's what this is about, okay? So like I said, it was the P.O.C. then. The state is aiming directed light. The state is stalking via the people, and that P.O.C. is ceaseless. So I just want to point that out as well. More than 24 hours later, actually it's about 24 hours later, almost around 8 p.m. And like I stated then, which is the case now, you're witnessing all the ways in which an entity is an obsessive stalker that is engaged in ceaseless surveillance, all right? And this is the aggression of a government and all the ways in which you're going to confront that by prosecution and by legislation, by policy that is serving to address what is that violent psychopath, okay? That's the P.O.C. And that demon is crossing path. That's the people of the state. Sarah Bartlett is crossing path right now, molesting and filling this vehicle with directed light while you hear that that ignition, which is impossible light activity. It's reaching on the passenger side while this vehicle is facing south, and while they are driving behind, there is no way where any headlights are reaching into the interior of this car. You're talking about what are psychopaths engaging in terrorism. I'm going to prosecute Sarah Bartlett for that. That's exactly how that works. It is one entity, and the government is acting through the multiplicity of faces. Sarah Bartlett is a part of that entity engaging in that P.O.C. The sex offender that is also stalking me where I sleep. Okay, that's P.O.C., and that's what you just heard, and that's exactly what Sarah Bartlett's going to be prosecuted for. All right, it's currently 7:12 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, so with regard to the pattern of conduct as it is underway in this ongoing terrorism where I sleep, where this entity is engaged in ongoing surveillance and stalking, and being surrounded by psychopaths who are of this condition, which is demon possession. This is Courtyard VS. This is Woodside Senior Apartments, 403 West G Street, 630 North Fern, 421 North Fern. You're talking about 325 West G Street. You're talking about what is Rite Aid, that plaza that is anchored by Rite Aid at 222 West G Street. All of those venues are open right now still in relevant position. And you have what is the maintenance of presence in the path group stalking by sitting in that parking lot, minions on a ceaseless basis on behalf of the government. It is a ceaseless act of surveillance by an entity. And I'm just reminding you about the zone of relevant positioning. Vine, Fern, Laurel, Euclid Avenue, G Street. You're talking about what is an ongoing perimeter in the same way that the entity was stalking with flashing light this morning around the perimeter. And as I continuously documented as I walked from the as I walked from the Ontario Village Shopping Center stalking with light, that is speaking to what is ongoing massive monitoring with communication devices and demons that are paying close attention to me. All right. So let me be clear. I'm not only prosecuting and documenting Sarah Bartlett. This is relevant to what is relevant to what are the minions in relevant position on behalf of the state, monitoring to that demented conduct. And this particular demon's license plate is 5TOD 719. That's an old Toyota crossing path, doing that same conduct while the state flashes directed light inside the vehicle. That's the identification of one stalker acting on behalf of the state while they're all listening to me. Okay, Satan's literally sitting around listening to me prosecute it. It's 7:25 p.m. and that's P.O.C. All right, it is at approximately 11:58 p.m. This is when I am engaging in adjusting, covering up the windows of the vehicle that I'm sleeping in where this entity is stalking. And I want to document the stalkers that are, the Ontario Fire Department. And this is exactly what I am talking about. When you're talking about all hours and ceaseless surveillance and obsessive stalking, that obsession is born of what is a condition that I continue to reveal to you with regard to the pattern of conduct and what the pattern of conduct is telling you about the entity that's engaging in this criminal system. And this is demon possession. And so the demon possessed entity acting via the Ontario Fire Department, who are literally demons, okay, this is their literal condition, who are just in the position of the fire department personnel. They're stalking, sitting around the corner, which you are necessarily doing because you're not coincidentally engaging in an ongoing pattern of stalking with activity. And also, you're talking about what is directed light, which is impossible. Okay, so these are demons, and this is the fire department at 11:58 p.m. while I am sitting inside of the vehicle covering up the windows, and the fire department is engaging in what is a molestation of my body with what is directed light, the color of the lights on those fire trucks while they are stalking in the path on G Street at 11:58 p.m. Okay, so this is while the vehicle is driving what would be in the direction west on G Street, while this vehicle is parked on Fern Avenue facing south. This is absolutely impossible light activity, the same exact conduct that just occurred right now while I am documenting this conduct. And this is the exact same ongoing P.O.C. with which I'm going to prosecute the same entity, because it's the same P.O.C. that was underway, as I continue to reference Sarah Bartlett. All right. When you're talking about what are Sean Thrashers, all right, these criminals, and these are demons that I'm encountering. And this is why I document the profound criminal conduct and what is necessary. You need to understand, while I'm revealing the pattern of conduct and documenting it and publishing it, I'm also revealing what is demonic activity and what are the demon possessed. And you're talking about what is darkness that is covering over, if you will, a department. Okay, it's not just the specific third party whose license plate I drive by. This is not individualized. It's a group system. This is a group conduct by nature, and it's demonic activity amongst the people who are engaging in what is criminal. Okay, it's not your ordinary cult, and so there is no just some specific group of people. No, this is the government, and this is the state of California, and that is the terrorism as a fire department driving what is a state vehicle. That's how it's identified under federal group stalking monitoring, are filled with demons who are targeting me. And you know that because of what is the directed light that is reaching into the vehicle to touch all over my body, touching on my breasts. In the same way I wouldn't let those demons touch my breast with their hands or with any extension of their person, they're touching me with that which is not even naturally occurring, directed light, which is speaking to, first of all, you are doing nothing but stalking, okay? And you're doing so at the second that I open the door and I'm trying to cover up the windows, which all of the entity is engaging in what is aiming directed light. And that is with regard to what is the state acting directly via the fire department, creeping around on dark streets in the middle of the night, stalking in the path and molesting a sex offender. Understand what that is. And that's exactly how it's going to be prosecuted. A sex offender, and this is the Ontario Fire Department, creeping around, already understand what they're doing. They are sitting around engaging in ceaseless surveillance. That's how you are crossing path at the same time that I'm opening the door. You're already there. You're already around the corner creeping. This is Satan in operation over the Ontario Fire Department. And I want to make sure that the reason why I'm stressing that is because that's exactly what is wrong with them. And that is exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what the city of Ontario, as you witness them looking at them on video. This is a demon that is focused on me. While they are engaging in what is light activity and relevant positioning, they don't have to look at me while they are stalking in the path. Okay. And that demon, by the way, while they are keeping his back to me, Satan's eye is focused on me. That ear is focused on me and everything that I'm doing and saying. Okay. And so I want to document that conduct, that terrorism and that conduct of the sex offender, that it shall be prosecuted as, and that's the state acting via the Ontario Fire Department, who is right now being the predator and the psychopath stalker that they are, driving around the perimeter, stalking in the path in the middle of the night, stalking myself, a young woman, while I'm in the vehicle, exposed to an entire entity. Understand, the people of the state are engaging in this all night long. And I also published onto my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. You will see under today's date, which is January 13, 2021, I'm including what is a sample of the perimeter. All of the minions that are going to be prosecuted, they're monitoring with the fire department. They're monitoring with the state that's hovering over in airplanes and helicopter tonight. Okay. This is a daily event, and the state doing that again tonight, stalking by helicopter, flying over me. I'm continuously molested and surrounded with directed light. And the state is engaging in that ongoing aiming of directed light inside of the vehicle. This is ceaseless. And these are demons that are engaging in that while they are engaging in what is interstate stalking. This is serving the criminal purpose of the demon possessed who are engaging in stalking and maintaining presence, monitoring with communication devices, including that entirely disturbing and sexually violent, revealing the psychopaths and the demons that they are, the Ontario Fire Department. Okay. They are literally creeping around on a dark street, crossing path in order to touch on my breast, touch on my body inside while I'm sitting in the depths of a vehicle with the door cracked open, trying to cover up my windows, and the vehicle while it is facing south, and they are driving what is west on G Street, reaching into the vehicle with what is impossible light, touching all over the roof inside of the car, touching on my breast as I'm sitting in the front seat. My breasts are toward the front of the car. Understand, the state is moving direct light in all manner, in all directions inside of the vehicle. And those sex offenders of the Ontario Fire Department do not have anything anything more important to do. This is surveillance. That's what the entity is doing, and that's what the fire department is doing. It is state surveillance, and it is identified as the Ontario Fire Department. And that's exactly what they engaged in, and I want to document that. And that is conduct on behalf of what is Sarah Bartlett. That is conduct on behalf of what is the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library. It is one entity. One entity. I'm speaking to, I'm encountering, I'm documenting methods of form on behalf of a government that is surveilling me, that is stalking and monitoring in violation of federal law. Okay. And currently that was at 11:58 p.m. The Ontario Fire Department stalking in the night, molesting in the night. All right. And that is P.O.C.